Hello, hello, and welcome. We are chatting today. I'm Leone, and I have Nicole with me today. We are going to be talking to you about habits. We're just going to have a little chat session about setting things up so that you are forming new habits or improving on the habits you have because the key to transforming life is what we do every day. And the little things we do every day do add up. So we're talking about leadership development habits and life planning habits. So let's talk about life. First, we want to talk to you about the Power Morning Printable. And that's the one that we take the time to sit in the quiet. We establish a morning time where we are going to get up, have our little quiet space, and notify everybody else that this is my time. And this is where plan it out the night before, have your space. I had a night, my comfy chair and my little coffee table. And I start mine at 5:30 in the morning. You can do what you need to do, but I get up an hour before everybody else, and that's my quiet time. In other words, boundaries. This is the time, and I spend my time on that. I know, Nicole, I know you've used the Power Morning as well, as you've been in the mastermind for the past year. And how did you set yours up?
Well, I had to start with first setting my alarm
Yes, I do too.
because setting my alarm was the key because I would always have these great hopes of getting up to do
Yeah, yeah,
my writing and everything. And it wasn't working. I'm like, what am I doing wrong?
yeah.
So I set my alarm, and then that started my brain really getting focused on the getting up to the point where, after about 3, 4 weeks of setting the alarm, it was like, oh, okay, I have to get up now. I have to do my writing, so that I could really plan out my days better. So that alarm setting was one of the first habits
Yeah,
that I installed
yes,
to really focus on my mornings.
yeah. And that's the key is that whatever, as we want to develop new habits, we do have to look at life and say, okay, what do I need to mix up here? What do I need to change? What do I need to add? And if like that, I have my alarm set for actually I get up at five every morning, but my body naturally gets up at 4:20 now, just because I've done it for so long. So my body just is done sleeping and I'm up. Sometimes if I go to bed really early, my body wants to say I'm up at 2:30, but I turn over, listen to my book, and I just keep myself in the quiet there. But this whole concept of the power morning, I actually started doing, gosh, I want to say it's already 6 or 7 years ago. I learned about
Wow.
this strategy and I learned about it from someone else loaning me a book written by this gentleman who had been in a very bad car accident and had almost died. And well, he died a couple times and they brought him back. And in that experience that he had, he just developed this gratitude and this whole feeling of he was just so grateful for life. And he just started doing this thing where he would take some time on his own in the mornings, and he had some different things that he did, and I can't remember the magic. I can't remember the name that he called it, but over time, I just kind of I said, well, you know what, I'm going to try this, because I was running on fumes, and I really,
Exactly.
yeah, the running on fumes thing, man, where you just over the top, you're just exhausted, you can't even think straight anymore. And I'm like, I knew I needed to make a change. I was trying to make a change. I knew I needed that change. And I said, well, let me try this. And he talked about the concept of just having that time before you go out and deal with other people. You
Yeah.
take the time to work on you. And that got me. That got me. I said, okay, I'm gonna try this. So I set the alarm. I set myself a little table. I got me a comfy chair. I put my pens, my little notebook. I put a book that
Mm-hmm.
I was reading, and I set it up. I set up a space. And then I took that space, and like you said, I didn't go out of the room. I had enough space in my room to have a little table, a little chair, and I set that up as my little spot where I could sit there and I could have time to myself. Now, in the beginning, you might be like this and you might be trying to catch yourself and trying to develop that habit. But let me tell you, the change that that thing created in me was amazing. And then I would do my hour, it's a power morning, take an hour in the morning. The first 15 minutes, prayer and gratitude. The second 15, visualization and recitation of your goals, your dreams. So I would repeat my goals and dreams. I would write them out again in my journal. And then 15 minutes, I'm writing, I'm planning out the day, blah, 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 as things are popping into my head because in the morning your head's clear. Your head's clear.
Very
Or
clear.
when you get up, yeah, you get up and you notice you have answers to things, write them down, right? That's what we're
Yeah.
teaching Craft My Powerful Life. And then the last 15 minutes, I read my book or I hit play on my audible.com on my audibles and I listen to my book and I take notes. But
Yeah.
those 4 blocks changed my life. And here's how I knew it was working, not because I so much saw it, but I did feel the peace of mind. So after I was done with that, then I'll go jump in the shower, get dressed, and I'm coming out happy and smiling and ready for the day and ready to handle other people because I took time for me. I took time to shore myself up. So
Yeah.
then when my daughter said to me, wow, mom, she can see a difference. I'm more calm. I look happier. I was like, oh, oh, oh okay. I'm on to something. I'm on to something now.
Exactly.
And that
And
was
the
the thing.
other one of the other things too with the morning time, what I noticed is if you could squeeze in even more time,
Yeah.
2 hours to me worked better. Like
Yes.
on any day that I had 2 hours to dedicate to just focusing on my thoughts, my feelings, my dreams,
Yes.
my goals, my plans,
Clarity.
that was even better than the
Yes.
1 hour. 1 hour is great. That's like your absolute minimum. But if you can get 2 hours, if you could get 3 hours
Yeah.
just for you, that's awesome. And
Yeah.
it means a lot. And you will start to feel so empowered
Yeah.
that your brain automatically knows, okay, it's 5 o'clock. Here, let's start spitting out the ideas.
Yeah.
It's time for her to hear them.
Yeah.
And it's easier to hear the information that you really should be focusing on at that time of the morning because there's nothing else happening. Your TV's
Absolutely.
not on, your kids
Yes.
aren't running around, your family's not bumbling about the house and doing stuff. You're up by yourself. And
Yeah. The quiet.
that's and it's peaceful, but it is empowering
Yeah.
uh, for you as an individual to see that you're really getting more out of life just
Right.
by taking that extra time for yourself.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. That getting more, you feel more productive, you feel more calm. You feel like, okay, boom, 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 I'm gonna get this done today. Stuff pop into your head, and I had an exercise that I put into practice. So I have my blank journal, and I would on the right side of the page, I would draw out my dreams. I would do the mind map. I would what do I want? What do I want by the end of this year? I would refocus on those dreams, visualize, and then I started cutting out pictures. I put some vision board pictures in my journal. So I'm seeing that every day. I would go over it. I would look at it, remind myself of my dream, get it into the subconscious mind. But then what I started doing, and it's an exercise I heard on one of my books, and it said, write out ideas every single day. And I think he said
Awesome.
20. Let me tell you, the hardest thing to do is write out 20 money making ideas a day.
Yeah,
It's
that's a
hard.
lot.
Yeah, it is hard. But he says, force yourself. He says, I'm not telling you to put into practice everything that you're writing down. What I
Okay.
want you to do is get into the habit, the practice of thinking of how do I put something into a business form? How do I creating something that can make money? And I took that
True.
on and I would sit there on the left hand side of the page and I would be like, okay, I can do this, do this, do this. And when you're freed up, that I didn't say that you have to turn every one of them into a business. I just said to write down ideas for a business, for money making, for money making. And that
Yeah.
frees you up because there's no judgment there. Take away that fear, take away those limitations, right? And just write and just write. And you do that over a time of a year, oh,
Yeah, it's
nothing,
a
you're
lot.
unstoppable because now
Yeah.
you have a whole journal full of ideas that you can turn into a business. You already wrote them down. You already wrote them
True.
down. So
Hmm.
it was very, very powerful. So I definitely want to encourage this is part of what, Crafting My Powerful Life is leadership development and life planning. So the Power Morning habit falls under leadership development because when you build you, then you handle everything else. Everything else comes after you as a mom build yourself up first. And then you will have what you need to do and what it takes to handle the rest of the family, do your job, whoever else you need to be taken care of. All of that follows. But we have to do us first, get us strong, get us fed, nurtured, and then you can turn around and have the energy, the power, have a smile on your face, be calm and peaceful so that you have your cup filled up before you go out there and have to help everybody else. So today, we just want to hit that one habit with you today. And on our next chat, we're going to talk about the next one, which is our mastermind worksheet. But today, we just wanted to share that one with you. And we are going to definitely put a link for you to get that free printable so that you can print that out and start putting the Power Morning habits into your life. So it was great chatting and let's get busy living because, ladies, life is hard enough. Let's quit trying to do it alone.
Let's not do it alone.
Yes, absolutely. Talk to you soon.
All righty.